IT and the technical solution as such. So that way, decentralized LMS will give you a lot of benefits, and it helps a lot for education institutes to plan the deployment as per the cost or as per the focus they are in right now, and they can take it forward. So that's how this LMS, decentralized LMS, can work. Okay, now going to the next topic, I would like to share here a quick impact on how it would look like on the cost map, on a centralized versus decentralized. In a typical centralized scenario, 37% of your cost. Sorry, someone is not on mute. I'll make them mute. Sorry for that. Just give me a minute. I'm just checking. Everyone is on mute. Yeah, thank you. Okay, in a typical centralized approach, if you see this, the major cost is on maintenance of the software and upgrades of the systems and the yearly subscription, because that's how the stack has been built and that's how the stack has to be managed. And the second biggest cost is the custom features. See, the second, why it's a custom feature is the second biggest cost here, is whatever the change. Let's say I am accessing the course module. So something has to be changed in the course module. Whatever I change in the course module, it can affect all the other modules that are tied up. So these modules are to be linked up, and it has to be ensured that it functions in the way it is expected. So that's where the custom cost will go high in a centralized approach. Then there is also a higher cost on the training. Why there is a higher cost on the training is since it's a huge application, you cannot expect every user to know every feature. So if you have to do some kind of more productive work or more double work or kind of multiple jobs assigned to people using the LMS, then you have to ensure they are trained well, or else it will create a lot of stoppage in the work or in the kind of activity that we are doing for the school or the college. So this is another important cost we have to understand in a centralized approach. And the total access, user access cost would be around 18%, which means that the number of users grow, the cost will grow. So that's how the kind of situation will be for a centralized. Now coming for a decentralized. If you look at decentralized, typically I'll also share the cost to cost matching so that you understand, but I'm just giving a spread here. The centralized solution can typically come between a 3 lakhs to a 10 lakhs kind of a budget. A decentralized solution can come starting from 80,000 up to 3 lakhs. So that's the range that we are looking at. But in a decentralized solution, if you look at 55% of effort or cost goes into customization, because it's all different modules and it's only the kind of integration that is required. And every module can be built independently of something else. So that's where the customization comes in. So it can reflect your complete value or your complete core objectives of what you do at your institute for that particular module when you build it. That's how the customization goes high. And it is not like the same thing served for every school. It is purely for your LMS solution, you are building it. That's how the cost will be more on a spread for the customization side. Now, if you come to the maintenance, maintenance goes drastically down by 20% because it's only one kind of maintenance window that you need to do is only the cloud and trying to look at the users who are available, who are not available. Now, going to the user access is still the same or similar, I would say, but there is a little reduction on the user cost, which can go up to 15%. And the most important thing here is training. Since you are building these applications for focused teams, decentralized applications for focused teams, like the registration desk can build their own application and no one needs to know about that. There can be an information shared to the management, but how the registration desk functions can be totally in their own. So even if some new people join or anything, there is nothing much of exposure to training. The small team can train on the small application the new member at the speed and at the fast. So that's where your training cost or your training time drastically comes down. So this is a basic comparison between a centralized approach and a decentralized approach. Now I'll move on to other slide, other graphic. So typically this is how it is. So if you look at all the LMS solutions on a cost per 1,000 users and a time-based scale, this is how they show up. Okay. So a typical, let me start with the e-learning. E-learning starts with a typical kind of a 3 lakhs or some kind of a cost, but it takes an exponential cost. The reason is when you develop a content, the content has to be presented back. Then there is an engagement cycle. Then once you do the engagement cycle, then there is some activity cycle that you expect. Once the activity is completed, then you have to again connect it to the process, or you have to connect it to some kind of a result or a tabulation which can tell the person that using that e-learning module or the tool or the topic or the concept, he has completed his learning. So in doing that, it's not only just the video production or the content production, managing the content, presenting the content in various ways and in various forms, and all these engagement models and all this kind of tabulation activity, all these things will actually shoot up the cost of an e-learning very drastically and within very less short time. The more the content you have, the directly would be the cost that can be impacted. Now, the second one is a CRM. CRMs are steady. They don't increase the cost, they don't decrease the cost. They typically manage at the same cost they are installed, and throughout the lifetime, they will be in the same way. The one advantage of a CRM is like you can really build a kind of categorization of what kind of customers you have or what kind of prospects you have in your system, and you can work very effectively. So that's one important aspect of a CRM. Now going to the ERP. ERPs are like, they start with a huge cost. But as you go over a period of time, since there is no additional things that are to be learned, and as the system matures, meaning the people get used to it, the business flows in line, the kind of details you have in line, everything in place, as you have this ERP stabilized, or as the team understands the ERP well, that's when the productivity starts and the cost comes drastically down to a very manageable level. And that's where you can actually start maximizing on the ERP. So ERP is definitely a long-term and a big-term kind of an approach. If someone is looking for LMS, look for those kind of ERP approaches. Now, next, the online solution. Online solutions are really tricky. So as you see, the line is just the way it is, like a free line. It starts with nothing, but suddenly jumps high, because in the online, what we do is we do a lot of tricky things, because thinking it's just a web application. And we are the creator of our own web application. So that kind of mindset actually puts the solution for a toll. So what we do, we keep doing a lot of things here and there. We learn something new, implement directly, immediately in the web online solution, and suddenly the solution takes a beating. So there can be highs and there can be lows, and it cannot be attained with a standard, because it is what we are doing, and we are doing just by the way we want at free will. So online solutions are good, they are effective, they start with a lower cost, but they are highly unpredictable in all sense. Whatever the way you have to be very careful when you're defining an online solution, typically hosting on a web. It can go to that level. Like I am also aware of certain solutions where they are built on any of the web kind of a tool, and they were attacked by hackers, and the entire solution went down for 10 to 12 days. So these are the situations that can go wrong with an online solution. So definitely it's a best one. It's a easy to start one, but it has its own kind of dangers that can put the business, or that can put the entire activity for a toll. And behavior, there is no specific behavior, though we set up a lot of standards and all. It just uses a free line. That's been the study, or that's been the understanding. Now coming to a decentralized solution. Decentralized solution starts at a very low cost, which is like exactly the sweet spot for us, for the business. So what it does is it starts slowly, and there's an incremental increase, because we will only bring up those functionalities and connect to the main source which we want to focus. We will not bring everything. Let's say there are 10 different things that happen in a institute, like or the LMS that we have checked. There are 8 different things that we primarily need in an LMS. Not all the 8 things are required on day one. We can incrementally start, and we can take it to a next level, step by step, step by step. But over a period of time, that cost also stables, because we would have understood the behavior. There is high productivity, there is kind of maximum usage. So when the productivity is high, it will take care of the cost, and the cost can be contained. So that is the best scenario for a decentralized solution, and that decentralized solution is in full control of what we are doing. So this is the insight, friends, I wanted to share with you, and we will shortly go with the demo.